But no, there's some things going on at the university. A few years ago, what I think Lynn is referring to, we made application to have our business department certified. And after you go through these steps, they say, yes, you are now an accredited program, but we reserve the right to come back in 3 years and take that accreditation away if you haven't continued improving. And so we have gone past that 3-year mark, and we've submitted our review, and everything is still online. So we're good for that. But one thing that we're trying to do here, and what I'm involved in and need some help from you guys, is we're trying to improve our internship programs. For the last 2 years that I've been here, we've had maybe 2 or 3 interns per year where a student will go out and earn college credit working at a business, and they are better prepared with that practical work experience when they graduate and go out. We want to improve that. And so I was put in charge of the internship program beginning this fall semester, and I wanted to meet with you guys to let you know what we're doing, what we are looking at trying to accomplish, and where I need help from you. And I'll share with that here just a little bit. If you don't know what an internship is as it applies to business, it's where you as an employer or an employer, typically you hire employees, you give them a job description, you give them tasks, you make sure that they do their task correctly, and then you pay them at the end of the week or at the end of the month. A student comes to a university or a school, they are enrolled, they have an instructor, they do assignments, and then at the end of the semester they get a grade, they get credit for that. An internship program blends both of those together. They are hired by an employer, they are given a job. Interns can be paid or unpaid, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. The supervisor makes sure that they do the job correctly, but they also are enrolled in a college credit course, and they have to do assignments, write up reports, make presentations over what they've done, and at the end of the semester, then they get college credit for doing work at the employer's job. So it helps both. So we're trying to improve on that and make some adjustments to that to increase the numbers and the participation, not only in Alva, but also in Enid and in Woodward. And this is where I need some help from Kiwanis and some other organizations. One thing that an employer will need to do is we set up now on a web page where an employer can go in and register that they are open or willing to take an internship. It's on the Division of Business on the left-hand column at the bottom under interns. And this will allow us to kind of centralize, because we had our campus in Enid taking internship applications, we had our campus in Woodward, we had our campus in Alva. It was just kind of convoluted. We had 3 wheels going in 3 different directions. And so we're trying to get all that coordinated here. And so you can make an application online, and that will help keep everything centralized. But what we want the employer to do is to meet with the student, tell them exactly what they want them to accomplish. We have a requirement that the student has to put in a minimum of 120 hours, which is not a whole lot, so it's a part-time position. And they have to have it finished before the end of the semester. We need the employer or the supervisor to write up a very simple, basic summary of the intern's performance. Are they on time? Are they following instructions? Are they doing a good quality work? Are they doing more than what they've been asked to do? So just something that you would do with employees. I've done the same thing with my employees. And I've had about 6 or 8 interns. What I have found in working with interns, typically they are more dedicated. They have a better positive attitude, because not only can they lose their job, but if they get fired, they also fail the class. And so I have found that interns are really enjoyable to work with, very dedicated, and also something, looking around the room here, I bet most of you are like me. One thing about hiring a 22-year-old intern, they know how to handle these things. Okay, I had a client. This is my first smartphone. My client bought it for me. I took it home and handed it to my son to program it for me. So, but they're very good at technology, and they have implemented some new processes, even on Excel spreadsheet and Word documents, that, let's face it, some of us older guys didn't know that they had made those changes. So they bring some new and innovative ways into the business to help improve things. So there are benefits for the employer as well as for the student as an intern. After the 120 hours, the employer would give a final report summarizing what they've done, what recommendations and changes we need to make on the internship program, and we would work together in assessing the student's grade, and really the internship class is a pass or fail. If you happen to select an intern, and we had one happen last spring, he was an accounting intern, went to work for a tax office. And we asked him, what did you learn about being an intern at this tax office? He says, I hate taxes. He's getting his degree in accounting. He didn't know what he wanted to do, but he does know today what he does not want to do. He does not want to go in and fill out tax forms for the rest of his life. And that's something that does happen with a lot of interns. They find out that, I thought this is what I wanted to do in my life, and it's not. Another benefit for employers is that one national survey said that about 38% of all full-time employees were a previous intern at that company. And so it's a good screening job for long-term employees. It's a good screening job for finding out how well they can do. As an employer, I would hire somebody. I knew what was on their resume. I knew what they told me they could do, but I didn't know whether they could actually do it or not. And with an intern, you now kind of have that time period. And I don't know about Oklahoma law, but I know, and I'm from Texas, in Texas law, if I hire you as an intern at the end of the internship, if we part ways, I don't have to pay unemployment for you. So I get a free 90-day, 4-month period where I can test you as an employee. And when I let you go, I don't have to pay unemployment for you because you're enrolled as an intern. So there are some benefits for the employer. Here's where I need some help. We started the website. We sent out an email. I have 12 applications from students who want to be an intern for the fall of 2015. I have one organization who wants an intern for 2015. Anybody want to guess who that organization is? Northwestern Division of Business. We got funding for an internship. So I have a need. Students are wanting internships. They're looking at it. Some are in Alva. 1 or 2 are in Woodward. And I think I have 4 in Enid. They're asking for accounting, management, and some general business. And so what I need from you guys, since I'm still somewhat new here, I need some names and contacts of other organizations where businessmen, owners, businesswomen go, and I can approach and talk to them about expanding our internship program at Northwestern, at Alva and Woodward and the Enid campuses. I have a meeting later with the Alva Chamber of Commerce, and they have already mentioned to me 1 or 2 other Northwestern, Oklahoma Business Association or something of that nature. They've given me some names, and I'll be making contact with them here in the next couple of weeks. But I just wanted to present that out to you, that we're trying to be a little bit more aggressive with that and be more involved with the community and getting our students out there. And just wanted to work together with the Kiwanis Group and other organizations so we can improve the educational opportunities for our students at Northwestern and maybe try to find you guys some good employees. So that's all I have. Any questions? Yes, Larry?
Do you have the department have some kind of scheduled salary schedule?
We cannot get involved in negotiating a salary or whether it's paid or unpaid. One reason is because once we get into that, we're getting close to becoming like an employment agency where we're negotiating. We just want to kind of be, and I'm sitting there thinking, okay, what am I really doing? I'm almost like Match.com. I'm getting students and employers and try to get them together, and you work out the specifics.
Do most of the employers pay them?
Most of the ones that I am familiar here do pay. A lot of the internships that I'm more familiar with, because I come from the Dallas area, I did a lot of work with nonprofits. Those were unpaid. But most corporate for-profit organizations almost have to pay your intern because they are doing actual work for the business. And labor laws and IRS laws require that to be paid and taxes held out. How much you pay them, it's nice to pay at least minimum wage. But that's between the student and the employer. Yes, sir.
How long are these internships? And are they all in the same time period?
We need...
You have an intern for this period and get another intern for another period on down the line?
Yes, okay. We have a minimum requirement that they must put in 120 hours in the semester.
In 4 months.
Now, this is during the school year?
During a semester.
So what about the summer?
That would be a separate internship. Yeah, they would sign up and can continue that for the summer as well.
They can still do it, just be over an 8-week summer session.
8-week, or probably, we would probably go with like a in progress, give them an extension if they need that. Because if you take on an intern and they're slightly short a few hours, we're not going to fail the student. So we would either look at and work with you as much as possible. It's your business. You've got to stay in business.
So basically they're getting in a semester, they're getting in 120 hours a semester, 30 hours a month, basically. So
right.
You're talking about 7-8 hours a week.
10 hours, yeah, 10 hours a week.
10 hours a week.
10 hours a week, yeah. Yeah, that's what we're looking at.
But you'd have to sign up to be an intern each semester.
Yes. Or just simply, since I'm the coordinator, you just say, hey, I want one for the fall and the spring. And we kind of look at fall, spring, and summer. And I think we already have, I think I have the link set up for you to get for the whole next academic year. Fall, spring, and summer. And I would just keep you on.
I was wondering whether there was going to be a way that if you got an intern that you really liked this fall, I want that one back in the spring.
Okay. We are allowing them to take the internship class 3 times so they can get 9 credit hours. So if you get somebody in the fall that you really like, you want them back in the spring, you can bring them back and they can sign up for that internship class the second time. And if you want to keep them for the summer or the next fall, then they can take it for the 3rd time.
So basically after a whole fall, spring, summer, then you got to hire them. They're not an intern.
Or you get a new one.
Or you get a new one.
If you got one you really like, then you
Well,
try to hire
the
them.
deal is, at the end of the 3 cycle, then you get another one that you can score up right.
No, well, I thought you might hire the one you really like and work more than 10 hours a week. You might get 20.
Wait a minute, there's job security here.
And we would like to limit any organizations to a maximum of 2. Just simply, we don't want to overload the supervisor or the organization with too many college students because they may all take off the same weekend to go home. So, but we just found 2 seems to be good. Yes, sir.
One question. Are these all your senior year?
No, some are coming in. They have to be upper class. Some are junior. And we're trying to push for the junior year so we can go with that 2 or 3. And so we're trying to target them before they get to their last semester or even their last year.
Now, you're only talking about one internship per student, aren't you?
Yes. 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 Don't think we would allow a student to take 2 internships.
They could work for 2 different people and be 2 different interns at the same time.
Yes. Yep. Now, I will tell you this. This is something that I found out in talking with a few students last spring. Did not think anything about this. But we have a few international students who do not have a car. We had a transportation down to issue to Winoka and to Cherokee. A organization, a small company needed somebody, and we had a student here in Alva who wanted it, but they had no transportation. And you would think, transportation is not a big issue, but it is if you're an international student. We have some of our international students who are not allowed to work off campus. We would have to work with some of those issues as well. And then one student was offered an internship where they wanted him 1 to 5, but he was working full-time from 9 to 12 midnight. And he said, for me to give up my full-time job for a part-time job while the internship would look really nice on my resume and my transcripts, he says, I can't afford it. I'm having to work to feed myself. And so there are some of the issues that our students are struggling with and having to overcome. And so that's something we'll have to work on. Yes, sir.
There's a part-time person, 10 hours a week, and when you say accounting, it's sometimes in a business, I think it's been pretty difficult to turn over much true accounting work to an intern for that short a period of time. And so it ended up being more, diverse than just accounting. Almost clerical, something, I don't know exactly. Depending on the business. But.
Right. What we are really wanting to watch, and I've never heard of this issue here, but last year I did go to a conference in Oklahoma City, and you hear all the horror stories. One person was hired. I don't know what her job was or what she thought, but she went with a larger firm. Her internship was getting mail, making coffee, and answering the phone. She became the front desk receptionist. That's not an internship. If you hired an accounting intern, I'm not sure they can do an 1120S or a 1040. But I think they could probably get familiar with some of the more simplified terms and forms and help get some of that done. But if it means running to the post office on Thursday to double check the mail, that's part of the job. You got to do that. I was a small business owner, and if I hired an entrepreneur intern, they would clean toilets, take out the trash, and mop the floor because that's what I do. So we just want them to be involved with what the management feels is appropriate for somebody at their skill level, but not just be a clerk. So, but yes, that is a good question. Yes, sir.
I have 2 questions. One,
okay.
Can a company of any kind, it doesn't have to be an accounting company or a dealership or anything like that, any company, a lot of companies, maybe they're like mom and pop type companies, and they probably maybe didn't want necessarily to have an employee come in a little while and then be gone. But they're yet kind of a 2.5 person kind of a deal. Can they arrange in advance to where they would have a preceptorship available the year round and have a preceptor the year round? Or are they going to have a period where they don't have anybody? It'd be the difference between hiring somebody else and furnishing a preceptor.
Right. I would say yes, there's a possibility, because I know some of our international students stay here year-round. We just have to put it out there and see who responds to it. But yes, that is a definite possibility. A one-man operation can hire an intern. So any organization, any type of business, any kind of not-for-profit government, we're looking at doing an intern with the city of Alva for one of the accounting positions. So any type of organization can take an intern, and they would get credit for it if they meet the criteria that we have spelled out for that particular course.
And
so,
Dr. Hawkins, I'm going to guess this is a little bit like student teaching way back in the day. When you got done with it, when your intern gets done with it, comes back, there's probably a survey that the intern gets to do on the employer on whether they thought that was valuable for them in their field, and whether they would recommend this employer for future interns, and take that kind of impact in. So whether you're going to let, whether you find out all they're doing is making coffee and getting donuts, or if they're actually learning something about accounting or general business or whatever their field is. Is that correct?
Yes. Again, I have not experienced that here, but last year somebody said, yes, we had to review a company and they were on our blacklist. We will not even let graduates go interview because they treated the interns so bad. And all of a sudden everybody in the audience starts popping up, yeah, we had one too. And they did not mention names, but yes, that's one thing we do ask the student. How did you like it? How was the supervision for you? So, yeah. So it's a two-way street. But that's where we are. That's what we're doing. I have some business cards to pass out with my name, phone number, and email address if you need one. Brought those with me. And if you have any questions, feel free to contact me, call me, get a hold of me some way, somehow, so that we can move forward. So. Okay.